Where was I left off? I think. Yeah. I have a bit of food, so I'm going to be eating it briefly.
Nom, nom, nom.
Let's see, where do I have to go? Probably best to go tell Tunon what happened in the Bastard City. It'll be a recap for both of us.
Yeah, and then Tunon will be like, but why'd you post cringe? And you'll be like, but I didn't. He'll be like, okay, yeah.
Contested lands. 4 younger realms, ruined depopulated by constant war, they were functionally abandoned centuries ago. Unsettled gap of sovereign power became the home of the mages of the School of Ink and Core and their library, fortress, the Vellum Citadel. Okay. So yeah, I can only go and try and link the next spire, or, which is interesting because the spire is part of a wall. So there's 1, 2, 3. 3 other spires? I don't see any other ones. They're all linked across the wall. This one's surrounded by Vendrian's Well. I don't see any other spires apart from those 3, so those will probably be the main quests. Let's go to the Bastard City.
Main quest is up your ass.
2 days. That's actually quicker than I was thinking. Huh.
Look, it's Tunon's court.
Nearby you spot a large copse of narrow trees, with leaf-bearing vines coiled around the trunks. Okay.
Oh yeah,
Before.
don't forget to send out your
My what?
if you have any like missives you can send or anything. Missive the right word? Birds.
Oh, the missives? Yeah,
birds.
shit.
Don't forget about those missives.
Oh shit. Oh well.
I'll just say they got lost in the mail.
At the end of these stems, an explosion of bright orange berries radiates outwards, ripe and abundant. Bristleberries. The leaves extending from the main vine are bright green and low, with edges resembling undulating hills. Leaves like hills, safe from chills. Leaves like rain, unending pain.
Yeah.
Tight drupelets, the berries vary from bright orange to yellowish orange in colour. Each individual fruit differs slightly from between bristleberry and bristlebane, but it's very different to determine what without the two side by side. Shit. You break off a cluster and mash the berries between your fingers, revealing tiny pits inside. In slow circles, you rub them against your arm for a few seconds, remaining free of stinging rash, which you take as a good sign. So I eat them. The fruit is sweet and tart, surprisingly juicy for its size, and the thought of immediately eating another handful is tantalizing, but you restrain yourself.
No, eat more. Consume. Delicious. Origa.
Ooh. The rush of sugar and euphoria puts a swing in your step. Certain you spotted your edible berry from the toxic, you tear into your pouches and devour the berries, invigorated by every bite. Satisfied, you bound down the road.
Then you die.
I'm sure my boss will be pleased with me.
Why'd you post cringe?
Why did you do everything I said you not to do?
Because I'm an idiot.
I'm not the idiot here. Those two other guys are idiots.
You enable them. Psycho bullet.
Give the order. I'll kick any of these stuck-up highborns down the pit. Nice. Oh, they're arguing already.
You call yourselves officers of Kairos' army, but your conduct falls short of my expectations. The court finds your accounts of Vendrian's well lacking, rife with misdirection and fallacy, fouled with baseless accusation.
The shadow beneath Tunon's cloak darkened and flared around him. Murmurs of unease erupt in the court. Your Honor, I have relayed the events as I experienced them. You can well imagine why my version conflicts with his. Making a dismissive gesture towards the Scarlet Chorus representative, she continues. On my honor, and of that of the great general, I would sooner snap my sword than perjure myself before you, Archon. Oh? So you imply that falsehood comes easier to my lips than yours? You're a fool if you believe the Archon of Justice won't see through your lies because the disfavored think themselves better than a gang.
Silence. The contradictions in your statements will be examined, and falsities threshed from truths. If we find you have perjured yourselves, Blood and Mark will see to your fate.
He's turning to face me now, which is not actually that great.
What do you mean? He's your boss.
He's creepy.
What's creepy about him?
Look at him.
What? He's just a shadowy figure wearing a mask. What's wrong with him? Would a guy who's the Archon of Justice be like cringe, Daniel?
Okay, so Blood and Mark is an executor.
Fatebinder, we will start with the matter of the Archons. Graven Ash and the Voices of Nerat have declared war upon each other. In addition to violating Kairos' peace, they have thrown the conquest of the Tears into disarray. By all accounts, these hostilities began shortly after your arrival.
You must be
Tell
mistaken,
us
I
what
wasn't present.
transpired.
That's a terrible idea.
The Archons could not agree on who should lead the siege and descended into accusations of treachery. Seemed a mutual spat. The disfavored were more deserving of the honor. Our tactics and training outmatched the Vendrian Guard at every turn. What balderdash? The disfavored couldn't tip over a straw hut if they had a week to strategize. Our howling mob was better equipped to overwhelm the Vendrian Guard. Our recruits were ready to throw themselves at the enemy. If only Ash and his legion would have agreed to a plan.
The Fatebinder presents testimony. I
They're
warn
not
you
wrong.
both
They're
against
both
speaking out of
idiots.
turn.
Yeah.
Something more
leaders are
than
big
a mere
dummies.
disagreement unraveled
Big
this
stupids.
campaign. But I will return to that in time.
It just seemed like a disagreement to me. I can't say more than that.
Let us speak of Ascension Hall. The disfavored sing your praises across the realm, though the Scarlet Chorus appeal for charges of treason. Perhaps you can offer a more enlightened account.
I took it with the disfavored.
An efficient solution, the type I would expect from a capable agent. Tell me though, with the edict looming overhead and death the price of failure, why not employ the numerical advantage of the Scarlet Chorus?
A siege requires tactics and planning, not raw numbers. For a long while, the educator hovers in silence, shadows trailing from beneath his robes.
I will consider this testimony at length. The court thanks you for it. Is there anything you wish to add at this time?
I've told you all I know.
Your testimony is accepted by the court. The statements of our guests raise questions in my mind. There is much about this campaign that has caused me to wonder. A shipment of iron weapons was short on arrival.
Yep.
Where coveted iron is concerned, I don't believe it to be a clerical error. One of my agents recovered this seal in Echo Call. It belongs to a merchant collective. Lethian's Crossing is teeming with their kind.
Huh.
If you would root out treachery, I would advise starting there. Petitioners, leave us. I would have a private audience with the Fatebinder. Ascend and join me. You will find the way opened.
Okie dokie. I see you've returned to the fold. Your exploits in vengeance were the matter of some discussion. The Fatebinder balance regards you with a discerning eye. Were you saying something? Sorry, I cut you off.
Be right back.
Oh, sorry. What can I do for you? Callio touches a gentle hand to your shoulder. I have some concerns about the war. You're free to share them in my confidence. Bloodshed and brutality reign supreme. Peace cannot follow such cruelty. Such is the price of conquest. They will bring order to a land ruled by greed and corruption. When we show them the true way of Kairos, the masses will weep their gratitude and beg for our favor. It has already begun, she says, noting the assembled nobles in the entry hall. Anything happen while I was away? Oh yes, Cairn is the Archon of Stone, the really large guy with the Earthshaker Guild. Disloyal to Graven Ash's command and the campaign in Azure. Dispatch Cairn by proclaiming Kairos' Edict of Stone, the very earth turned against the traitorous Archon. Damn. Oh. Ah, Daniel Kadar, you return unscathed and more acclaimed than ever, as seems to be your way. The Fatebind of War claps you good-naturedly with an excessive strength on the back. Come, you must regale me with all that your journey has held. I could use a moment of respite between friends. He regards you with a warm, boisterous smile. Word has reached me regarding with your negotiations at Apex. I must admit, I'm impressed you made any headway with the southern wretches. If they are open to reason, it would seem they aren't as ignorant as the Archon of War would have us believe. Come, let us speak freely. I claim the spire of Endrian's Well. So the court whispers are true. The Fatebinder rubs his fingers along the underside of his chin, pondering his thoughts with great weight. He offers you a wistful sort of smile. Someday, I would like to witness for myself this tower that is rising above the realms like a blade thrust into the sky. Tell me all about Kairos' armies, our allies. Ah yes, with friends like these, our work is often self-explanatory. The Scarlet Chorus hail from every corner of the realm, blah blah blah. I'll note if anything's interesting. Graven Ash protects, and it's no empty boast. The Archon of War is able to lend his will and strength to his soldiers and give them endurance beyond human limits. Okay, so he is actually giving them extra power. Interesting. Probably why he keeps his numbers small. So how have your victories gone? Have you not yet tired of my tales, Daniel? I do admit I never tire of telling them. Very well. Let the glory of Kairos reign full on any ears that would hear of it. To the Edict of Storms, I was sent to take a place in the Blade Grave to help pacify the last of the stalwart defenders. Nunoval shakes his head with a loud sigh. Those storms, they are beyond compare. The winds are so strong they are reshaping the canyons, uprooting the forests. Such is the price of defiance. Okay, so they did the edicts I didn't do in the Origins. Fatebinder, you return. Rogalus? I'm going to call him Gallus for now. Gallus looks up and down with an inscrutable expression. You look as if you have questions for me to untangle. Ask. I'm feeling generous. Talk about the sages. I will not speak of the sages. They are no better than charlatans and cons, wholly selfish in their ill pursuit to hold all knowledge from others. They are self-blinded by their own deceptions and clever manipulations. They alone cause their own undoing and are solely to blame for the burning library. That's the Edict of Fire. One of the most grievous of wrongs in the known histories for which they can never be forgiven. Okay, so Edict of Fire, Edict of Stone, Edict of Storms. Got it.
Right.
Fatefinder, you're no stranger to Tunon's courts, but I prefer to spend as little time here as possible. In spite of these closed walls, I'm exposed. Fair warning, when you backdash, you were as good as signing your death warrant, but we shouldn't discuss such matters in a court of law. You'll make our time in the tears an interesting one, won't you? Of course you will. I don't have anything else to say to you. You can be on your way. How about you guys? You guys probably like me. Oh, Surveyor's. Nice to see you again. Anything beats a prolonged siege, eh, Fatebinder? Enjoy the war while you can. Fatebinder, I am ill at ease in this polished hall, but I admit it's a reprieve from the battlefield and training grounds. If Ash needs me to stay here and represent his interests throughout the occupation, then I'll be up to the task. Right. They'll represent the factions well. Hardly private when we're all together. Damn, that refresh bonus is good. Minus 20% recovery.
This feud is an insult to Kairos' peace. It should not have taken the better part of a year to silence the last vestiges of the Oathbreakers.
I agree, Your Honor.
Our allies squabble while our enemies regroup. It falls upon the court to measure the extent of the damage and to execute the agents of disorder. I suspect that treachery, negligence, disunity, and greed have infected one or both of our esteemed allies. Until you are instructed otherwise, this matter is the court's primary focus.
Right.
Graven Ash and the voices of Nerat must be examined in close detail. You are charged with observing the Archons and presenting your case that one of them has wrought chaos and disorder upon the tiers.
What if they are both guilty?
It's possible, but the momentum of the conquest up to this point suggests otherwise. The failure at Vendrian's Well implies a coordinated will behind the chaos. As always, you will be held accountable for what you do in the court's name, but you are free to conduct your investigation in the manner of your choosing. You must expect lies, misdirection, and manipulation. Suffer not such obstructions of justice. The Disfavored seem the logical first step in your inquiry. The Legion holds you in some esteem, and Graven Ash has shown deference to the court in times past. No doubt the Disfavored will be rife with accusations and evidence against the voices of Nerat. Graven Ash is a noble man, but never underestimate his capacity for deception. A wise general succeeds by knowing when to be unreadable to the enemy. You should, of course, speak with the Scarlet Chorus and gather their testimony. But it stands to reason that most in the chorus would sooner brag about a pauldron fashioned from your skull than entertain your questions. Do not regret killing the rabble that impede your investigation. They will be easily replaced.
Interrogating the Scarlet Chorus seems expedient.
The conscription methods of the Scarlet Chorus open the doors to the loyal and the wretched alike. No doubt those who are aligned to the chorus out of survival will be the most forthcoming. The genuinely loyal members of the chorus will likely lie with abandon to protect the voices of Nerat. Your fellow Fatebinders have been busy acting as my eyes and ears. I have a few leads for you to follow. You should, of course, speak with your brothers and sisters of the court if you need further counsel. Though the Disfavored were triumphant in the Blade Grave, I understand that their troubles within the region are unfinished.
Huh.
Talk to the disfavored commanders serving in the Blade Grave. Perhaps they can shine some light on the origins of this feud. There is a final matter to discuss. A sensitive topic. In spite of the many shortcomings at Vendrian's Well, you managed to make a name for yourself. You proclaimed an Edict of Kairos, resolved its demanding conditions, and ascended the mountain spire. Any one of these feats would be worthy of recognition by the highest authority. You managed to accomplish 3.
I'm only doing my job, Your Honor.
Your sense of obligation to your role is admirable, but modesty will not recommend you to the task ahead. Whether by design or by accident, you have captured the attention of Kairos' army and the local tiersmen alike.
Right.
This is no small opportunity, and the court charges you with exploiting your new standing to its fullest potential. You have a title in our hierarchy. However, it's a little-known secret that one's standing in the world is determined by their infamy, their deeds, and how they come to be known. Mind this notion as you bring justice to this lawless frontier. There may come a time when your deeds speak for you louder than any title. Whatever you did to capture the attention of the masses at Vendrian's Well, I would encourage you to do so again.
I hope I can be known as a champion of justice.
Good. It falls to us to set a new standard for these southern barbarians. You are dismissed. Should the court have need of your presence, you will receive word. Go forth and do my bidding, and bring glory and honor to the tiers in Kairos' name.
Tunon raps his gavel against the floor, the singular note resounding throughout the halls. Interesting.
Time to bring justice.
Trial of Archons. Tunon is displeased with the chaos emerged from Vendrian's Well. Blah blah blah. Take note of any evidence of negligence, incompetence, or outright treason found within the Disfavoured or Scarlet Chorus. All uncovered evidence will be listed here. All uncovered. Okay, so I have to get evidence against both of them. Evidence against Graven S. During the conquest, Graven S sent Cairn to destroy Edgering Fort in the realm of Apex. The destruction cost the Scarlet Chorus many potential recruits. Namet. Scarlet Chorus raided disfavored provisions. Conquest. Scarlet Chorus recruits were permitted to engage in a Tiersman festival, colluding with the enemy during a time war. That's okay, so I only have the information from before the game started, for now.
Yeah, so.
Let's have a new ability.
It allows you to post crit ship.
Replace hot shots, charge up a projectile, not force to penetrate armor. Enemies in line take damage and left bleeding. Nice. Oh wait, I already have that, my bad. Moderately increased damage with thrown weapons. Allows basic attacks to strike multiple times. Yeah, why not? Seems pretty good considering I use javelins. Tell me about some of the past Archons. Morimus of the Mire, the Archon of Fungus, produced most of the flora in the swampland of Nettlebog. A stooped hermit who rather resembled a dappling. He was never once reported to have left his swamp. Some believe he still lives within the land, though there's been no sighting of him in 300 years. Okay, I don't think there's any new information about... Hey, tell me about the other information you'll be getting. So, for now... Now, let's head out let's go to the Iron Hearth and meet with Gravebinder Ash. Welcome back, kid. Amusing as it would have been to watch the edict drop, I guess I'm glad you lived. Bled and Mark, Archon of Shadows, rouses from a faraway stare, turning to face you with a wise smile. Though he stands still, he seems to sift in and out of the shadows shrouding him. Hey, you threw your rings on Graven Ash's side. Not a bad bet to pick the Archon of War, but tell me the truth. Do you go to Ash because it seemed the right thing to do, or because supporting the Voices was a worse option? Neither Archon was at their best, but Graven Ash is the more capable warlord. The Disfavoured are nothing if not blindly devoted to their general, and though few in number, they are surprisingly difficult to kill. I don't have to like or understand it. We both have our ways for turning the tides of war. All that matters is the Edict of Execution was stayed. Those stationed at Vendrian's Wall should be thanking you for their lives. Now, I assume you're off to go meet with Ash, but first, you and I need to have a little chat. No, I don't think we... No, sure. Everyone's keeping an eye on you because you did something nobody has done before. Got a guess as to what that might be? And the first to resolve an edict before its consequences came to pass? Close, but not quite. It's rare, but not the first time that Karos has issued an edict primarily as a threat, providing the target sufficient time and motivation to actually comply with the order. Proclaiming an edict isn't new, neither is surviving or resolving the commandments of an edict, but you're the first to proclaim and resolve the very same edict, and it didn't kill you. You survived your second edict, resolved the very one you had proclaimed, and woke an arcane structure that had slept for several centuries. Am I doing something wrong? Calm down, kid. This isn't a list of charges. Prosecution isn't part of my job description. Executing a judgment is. I don't care what you've done with the information, but you should know the danger you're in now that you've put yourself on the map. Sticking with the Disfavored is a smart idea, kid. At least, smarter than getting mixed up with the Archon of Secrets. You'll never really be one of them, but if you value Ash's warriors, they'll serve you the best they can. Thanks for the advice. The Archon of Shadows shrugs to you in farewell. His golden eyes are alight with interest as he watches you, however. Let's get out of here. So we've got the Sunset Spire. We've got the Iron Hearth. So the Sunset Spire would be in Levian's Crossing. Let's go to the Iron Hearth first. 3 days. Oh shoot! Forgot to send my missives. I keep forgetting about that feature. It's like, hey, text people. Oh right. So this is near the Blade Grave. That'll be interesting to look at. Let's get those missives out. Okay, no. Nothing needed sending anyway. Good. Good, good, good.
On it. On the lookout.
There's a way to highlight objects, but I forget which button it is. Almbeck?
Yeah.
Which button do I use to highlight objects?
I believe it's either Alt or it might be Tab. I'm not sure. You should be able to.
You didn't see nothing.
No, Alt is stealth. Shoot.
Tab.
Yep, tab, you're right. Oh, there's the Scarlet Horseman over here. The disfavored soldier chuckles with disdain at the Scarlet Horse fighter. Consider it! Not for a second. We pick soldiers from elite northern families. We don't recruit from flies buzzing over a mass grave. The disfavored so narrow-minded. My gang's strength delivered us across half a dozen battles with a line of fallen enemies in our wake. Not many conscripts can say the same. The question is not a matter of your skill, but of your breeding, your training, your pedigree. Noticing you, the Iron Guard salutes. Hail, Graven Ash, Fatebinder. If it might take a moment of your time, what do you need? This person comes representing the Scarlet Chorus gang. What did you call yourselves again? The Grinning Bleeders. We have a long and storied reputation in the Scarlet Chorus ranks, killers of the highest order, my gang. Before I was boss here, I ran with the Broken Shits, the Salty Nightmares, and Trap Gang. Everyone made a name for themselves during the war. You made up at least 2 of those gangs. I don't even bother denying it. Just be careful what names you toss around when there's a former boss standing within earshot, you little pissant. Verse, so kind of you to chime in with your corrections. In any case, he's asking to join the Disfavored, which is out of the question. I've explained the numerous reasons why we can't allow it, but he won't listen. Is that accurate? It is. We're not looking for special treatment, just a new beginning. We're healthy, fit, and combat ready. The Ironclad shouldn't refuse us, especially since they're low on numbers. That may be true, but it's no excuse to pollute our respectable ranks with your company. We're more than capable. Put any weapons in our hands or send us on any suicide mission. It'll be mercy compared to what we faced under the voices of the rat. That much is true, at least. There's something to be said for a general who isn't going to gut you in your sleep because it suits his flair for the artistic. Those are the first fair words I've heard you speak about General Ash. Perhaps you're coming around. And you can count on them being the last you over for Mid-Empire. If we joined the Disfavored, the Disfavored wouldn't have to compromise their staunch northern morals. We'd take the bloody work off their hands. Do you want me to decide the matter? You must know Kairos' law's back to front, and I trust you know our traditions well. If it peels the lamprey off my backside, I'll allow it. Speaking for my gang, we'll accept your judgment. We're eager to crack some Tearsman skulls with Kairos' army again, no matter what color they wear. Alright, let's get your testimony. Why can't the recruits join the Disfavored? Most of us would rather swallow our tongues than take orders from some rigid officer who talked his way into leadership, but each your own. Where do I start? Not only does Graven Ash handpick his Disfavored from the decorated northern stock, he takes a personal interest in our training and education. We have his sons and daughters. To accept anything less in our ranks would hold the very process in contempt. The only capacity they could serve would be manual labor, hauling weapons or digging, but that's the work of slaves, not what they're requesting. Why did you leave the Scarlet Course? Oh well, Gang Boss fell at the last battle of Vendrian's Wall. We saw how the Disfavored operated and realized it was a chance for a better life. A longer one too. Desertion happens every day in the Scarlet Course. I can tell you he won't be missed. He said that like he's boasting. Only the shitty old recruits who never make a name for themselves are overlooked and muster. Why this interest in the Disfavored? Better training, better quarters, iron weapons. The Disfavored have everything we wanted out of joining the military. We want to serve Kairos to the best of our abilities. Is that asking too much? Old Ironclad here seems to think so. Their respect for command leaves something to be desired. I need to make my ruling. Allow me to consider my questions. Hard labor, execution, that seems a little much. Civilian lives. Yeah, take the hard labor. But that's a waste of our talent. We could shed so much blood for the Disfavoured. I agree it's a waste, but those fools should have known better than to turncoat. It always bites you in the ass eventually. Horde maggot, you occupy space and need our food. Don't presume to complain about your treatment. Fatebinder, I thank you. We could all learn from your practical, calculating approach. Yes, I'm very
Look
practical.
They're kissing that ass. Ass kissing.
Hey, my ass is damn fun.
Bruh. You have you're good, Fate Funder. You're not cringe. Really? I'm not? Yes. Wow. No one's ever told me that before. I'll consign this man to death.
Hey, I didn't send him to that fate because I was getting treatment. And I didn't assign him to death at all. Kinda need to stop and chat. I'm in a sticky situation and none of my gang is alive or around to help me out. Stop wasting the Fatebinder's time. He's better things to do than listen to some criminal's mewling. I'll be the judge of that. Tell me your problems. Thanks for hearing me out. The Disfavored aren't keen on conversation, otherwise I wouldn't be here. It's impossible to get a word in edgewise. Soldiers caught me outside a breach in the old walls. That's it. I wasn't inside, I hadn't stuck my toe through the threshold, and I wasn't dancing with any bane. I have a healthy relationship with self-preservation. So why are you arrested? You're only hearing one side of the story, Fatebinder. Our scouts observed this wretch ready to enter the old walls. Her account is flawed, her guilt witnessed by multiple trustworthy northerners. The soldier makes a point of standing extra straight when he addresses you. I'm sorry, is readying to enter the best you have? Because I could just as easily argue that you're readying to get knifed between your shoulder blades, but it doesn't count for shit until I see blood and bronze. I didn't go to the old walls, case closed. I'd like to have your mutual cooperations before I adjudicate. If you ask me, this prisoner's already been tried and sentenced. But this little game will silence a caterwauling, be my guest. What were you doing outside the old walls? My gang went inside as I tried to tell the Disfavored clods 100 times. I shouted myself raw trying to get them back out, but the gang wasn't having any of it. Our leader discovered the breach and got himself excited over the chance of treasure. I couldn't talk him out of it. Can you speak to this defense? I wasn't there, but I'm familiar with the arrest record. There was no gang, just a lone opportunist out to make a fortune breaking chaos laws. The scouts could tell just by looking at her she was going for the breach. She's a fiery one, put up quite a fight when they took her in. I have no reason to doubt the charges. So you had no interest in entering the old walls? Never. I grew up in the tiers. Even we know better than to go inside them. Not because of Kairos' law, but because the things lurking inside will like to eat us. Hi, Mikey.
Mikey, stop.
Fuck.
Bork. He's a Borky boy.
What was your gang doing in the old walls? Causing trouble, looting, no more or less than what gangs do. Our boss was obsessed with holding his position, which is healthy when you're in the Scarlet Chorus. When he came to the conclusion the old walls might have some powerful artifacts, well, funny to see a guy so wrapped up in survival trying to get himself killed. Typical behavior from someone who isn't confident in their leadership makes for a nice self-fulfilling prophecy. See? She understands. Where's your gang now? I never saw them make it out of the old walls, so either they did or they didn't. My money's on the ladder. They made it out, they aren't worth wasting their breath trying to find me, so fuck them.
Mikey.
Did your gang cause the breach? You kidding me? Either one of Kairos' edicts or some local mage caused the breach. Alright. The evidence is insufficient to prove the charges. You're free to go. Legal technicalities are my favorite kind. Go rejoin the war effort with a new gang recruit. Start your own if you have a mind to. Yes, ma'am. If you were gathering a force, I'd kill my way into your good graces. Pity I have to settle for less. This goes against my orders and my reason, but I cannot argue the ruling of Tunon's agents. I'll let you go. Stay out of trouble. I'll stay out of the old wars, but that's all I can promise. There we go. There she goes. Out of my life. Bark. Bark, bark.
See that?
You must be the fate binder of Tunon. Welcome to Ironhearth. I'm sure that Graven Ash appreciates any help you can offer. Circumstances have a way of coming together so the disfavored are always stretched thinner than we would like. What can I do for you? Why are you so overworked? We're trying to shoulder the brunt of the Civil War without the strength of numbers. The Scarlet Corps can throw 1,000 disposable bodies at an issue without a second thought. We're more discriminating. We're trained to deal with the stress of combat and all-night drills, but we're fatigued even by the high standards we set for ourselves. Not that I need to burden an agent with my misgivings. Once the war's over and the tears are properly subdued, my hope is that Kairos dispatches some relief troops and support the occupation. You'll deserve a season of rest. I hope you fight as well as you can play. Well, the court is always receptive to the needs of our soldiers. Your point is noted. That's generous of you. I'm grateful to know someone's listening. Where were you on the conquest? After the Edict of Storms hit, I spent some time among the ruins of Stalwart, digging out survivors of the Legion. Didn't find much. You must have moved on by then, or else we would have assembled a team to excavate you, she says, glaring at Barrack. My prison moved with me. There was no reason to tarry. I'll be on my way. I can imagine I can hear the voices carry on the wind sometimes. The brothers and sisters we lost. Well, it's not my problem. Even though you're not a fully fledged disfavored recruit, I have been authorized to grant you purchasing rights from our stores, with certain limits. Such as, it's nothing personal, I assure you. Graven Ash wants us to control our supplies without restricting access to his army supporters. The finest arms and freshest provisions are reserved for the soldiers under his direct command. I'm sure you understand. Understood. Let's see what you can offer me. Nice shields. Not better than mine. Ooh. Extra armor penetration, 0.4 of a second slower. Slightly better DPS, slightly less accuracy. Not worth it for 32. Tell you what, I can throw you some crap I'm not using. Did I say crap? I meant... No, that's what I meant. Good to see you, Fatebinder. Right, that's that's half of the outside done. Let's go back the other way. You know, ironically, even though Verse is actually a member of the Disfavoured, she actually seems to really like me. She also really hates me. Barrick likes me. Lantry kind of likes me. Eb doesn't know me much. I wonder why Eb doesn't like me. Maybe it's because she was a former member of the Vengeance Guard. Oh well, that's... Greetings, Fatebinder. Akalos, 32nd Legion. Glad to see Tunon's agents, Grace Ironhearth. Ash's troop has no lack of order, but a servant of the court is always welcome. Between our missing commanders and the Scarlet Course Lieutenant pinned down, I'm afraid we have our hands full. I suppose I could spare a moment. Scarlet Course Lieutenant? Seems our troop had this little maggot of a Scarlet Course Lieutenant cornered over at Cato Village. It's the same guy who's been ransacking our caravans. If it wasn't already holding something for Ash, I'd go and skin the filth myself. You being here simplifies matters. Make sure this lieutenant doesn't leave the village with his life. I'll handle it. Good of you to pitch in. No one will mourn the loss of some chorus rat. How'd you join the Disfavored? Ahead of the conquest, Graven Ash sent recruiters to all the outlying towns. The village held a tourney and melee to demonstrate a local muscle. Nothing fancy, mind you. Fighting on hail bales, wooden spears. I had the distinction of toppling even the biggest contender. A familiar tale, and one after my own heart. It's a good thing I succeeded. I'm more useful to Kairos in the field of battle than a field of wheat. Where were you in the conquest? You could say I've seen the tears from top to bottom. I dug latrines at our encampment at the Gates of Judgment, then my promotion sent me to Levian's Crossing, got into a few rows with the Bronze Brotherhood. Not a pretty sight. Ooh. Mercenary company from the Free Cities dotting the tiers of the tiers southern coast. Many of these mercenary companies were employed by Kairos' agents and slaughtered during the war. Hired the company to help protect. What's your home in the north like? I hail from Balmywell, a small hamlet far west of Kairos' capital. Nothing glorious, but I can trace 6 generations back there. So it's home. I would hope to return there with a heap of tales, rings, and renown. Alright, farewell. Okay, go get rid of a Scarlet Course Lieutenant. I can do that later. More important things right now. Whoa! That's a lot of dudes. Ending Kairos' legions meant you Vengeance well filled you with a great deal of power. Undoubtedly proved useful. Just to get the origins of power. Says your current level of power. Interesting. What does that do? Probably on my sheet. Power is 400. Any effects on that? Fatebinder, it's good of you to report in. These days it is difficult enough to judge friend from foe. I am pleased to recognize you as the former of the two. I see you brought the voices of the rat's spying whore to my doorstep. Lest you think me amused by your irresponsible conduct, know that I am not. First, as a useful ally, I need you on my side. At least until we get tired of each other. Don't worry, old man, I'm not going to drive a blade into your spine. Not while you're wearing a breastplate as thick as the old walls, anyway. Graven Ash glares at first, and returns a severe expression back to you. His mouth is a disapproving line, and he seems to be on the brink of saying more, but waves off the matter. After what transpired at Vengeance Well, the Disfavoured must hold fast to our allies. You are here because of your support at the siege, but I don't mistake your confidence for devotion. The Scarlet Chorus would not have you. Hope you can convince me I made the right choice. Convince you? It's hardly my job to convince you. Serving me will engender trust between us, and opportunities may allow you to rise above your standing as the adjudicator's clerk. You could be my soldier for a time, not disfavored, but closer than most will ever get. We have a realm to conquer in the name of Kairos. What's your next move? Glory to the Overlord. With the voice of Nerat, betrayal of our cause, our mission to control this forsaken peninsula has become more dire. We thought the Vengeance Guard were the final death rattle of this region's defiance. We were wrong. The tears have risen up against Kairos, emboldened by their countrymen, and while the Disfavored labour to maintain order, that serpent, the voices of the rats, grow his army of lunatics and self-swords. There can be no peace while the voices of the rats lives, and no order while the Scarlet Course rampage across these lands. The elimination of chaos must be our first priority. Then we will have our time to govern the tears as Kairos intended. Can I depend upon your support against the Scourge? What would you have me do? Our position of authority in the Blade Grave is far from secure. We need to establish ourselves in the region in order to cultivate our strength for the battle to come. As soon as I am confident in our chances, we will depart this realm and wipe the Chorus threat from the face of Taratus. The Unbroken, former daughters and sons of Stalwart, vex our efforts to secure this region. The Edict of Storms offers them cover, slipping past our patrols in the light of day, hiding their movements behind clouds of dust and debris. Yeah, this is like the Disfavored, but not Dix, the Unbroken. Kairos cast this blight on the country to set an example, not to plague those of us loyal to the north. You must travel to Sentinel Stand and seek out Stratus Herodin. He is the last of the old stalwart bloodline who call themselves Regent. Put him to the sword and end this edict once and for all. Why is he so important to the edict? You should know that better than anyone. Did you not proclaim Kairos' will upon the realm of Stalwart yourself? You would neither surrender nor impel the soldiers to do so. As such, Kairos decreed that the storms would ravage the country until the region was dead. Stratus Herodin was free to kill himself, of course, but he was too proud or gutless for the task. He's hiding, blah blah blah. The edict proves that he still lives. I don't need to be told of the storms. I just wanted to know about why he was important to the edict. Consider him dead. Find the last regent, kill him, end the Edict of Storms, and staunch the seeping wound of rebellion once and for all. The downfall of the Unbroken and the old regent will send a message throughout the tiers. Our rule is absolute. Can we not find a common ground with the people of Stalwart? Your decency is a breath of fresh air, considering how long I've enjoyed the company of chorus rapists and murderers. The people of Stalwart made their choice when they refused to bend the knee. They were aware of the stakes, and even the edict did not change their hearts. Cooperation is naive. Is a naive hope that died long ago. Alright, I'll get it done. How do you know? There's one final matter to discuss. My daughter went missing in the second year of the conquest. I have reason to believe she is trapped in the fortress of Sentinel Stand. If you can find Amelia, bring her home to me. How do you know she's in the Sentinel Stand? It's one location in Stalwart we cannot reach. If a detachment soldier was taken captive, placed beyond my power. Okay. Tell me about your daughter. Father, stubborn persistence. Excellent fighter. Strained relationship. I'll find her for and ensure a safe return. That is all I ask. Amelia is but one soldier, yet if I had the forces to dispatch, I would make her retrieval my highest priority. She is a commander of high renown and a paragon of northern values. Fatebinder, I offer you my support on this mission. The Blade Grave is a place of memory. I left many cohorts buried among the ruins. and no small part of myself as well. Could you elaborate? That matter is a sensitive one, but I fear to speak of it in the company of the great general, though he doubtless knows it already. Speak on, son of Baraconan. Nothing I've seen you accomplish in the field has diminished you in my eyes, and I know my soldiers as well as I know myself. I lost countrymen by the hundreds in the last day of the Stalwart campaign, and from my troubles I became fused in the armor. The Blade Grave is the last place I felt human. The last battle of Stalwart was a terrible time, perhaps most of all for you who survived. I have mourned those we lost, and must cite their names often during the morning drills. We cannot restore their broken bodies to the north, but we can remember them as they were. You have much invested in this mission. Of course you can accompany me. I appreciate that, Fatebinder. Graven Ash is attentive and understanding of his troops, and it pleases me to see his example in you. And in you, Armored One, never forget that I found you at the mere germination of your potential, and you've accomplished much in the ensuing years. Thank you, General. Though it was impossible to tell through his helmet, you assume Barrack is blushing. Your map is already marked for the position of Sentinel Stand. It would take me 100 lifetimes to forget those old wars, or the day the edict shattered our advance. I have some questions. Explain your connection to your soldiers. Every member of the Disfavoured is as precious to me as family. Their bloodlines are known and respected. Their performance in combat beyond every expectation, and I would go any length in their service. They call me General or Archon, yet I consider myself a guardian and servant of these excellent women and men. But I suspect that isn't what you intended to him. There's a deeper connection still, but to appreciate you must understand our history, my rebellion, and my rise to power. Graven Ash is capable of shielding his soldiers from injury and fatigue. This protective influence exerts itself even from far away or as he sleeps. If he sleeps, rumors disagree. Few understands how this arcane power works, but all who face the Disfavoured in battle will attest that Ash's soldiers can survive serious harm and shrug off the fatigue of starvation or long marches in heavy armor. When the Disfavoured are wounded, Ash's Aegis appears to help the Disfavoured swiftly recuperate. Interesting. Almbic? Almbic, are you there? Oh wait, no, he left a bit. More the Disfavoured, mere army, blah blah blah, rigid, we all know all this stuff before. Units. Stone shields, iron walkers are efficient killers. Okay, so stone shields are the phalanx, iron walkers are the attackers, crescent runners are scouts, oathbounds. Oh. Okay, crescent runners are just light infantry, oathbounds are scouts. Iron guard are commanders. Earthshakers, mages. Rally the north against Kairos. They brought me in chains before Tunon. He told me the enemies of Kairos would all be put to the sword unless I took that 1% opportunity to surrender and join the fold. What did you do? Most difficult choice in my career. A defiant heart still beat under my breastplate, but in the blood of the North coursed through my veins, yet we were all beaten the same. Out of loyalty and love for my countrymen, I swallowed my pride and bent the knee, offering my sword and my life to the Empire. Huh. Since we had transgressed and rebelled against the offering of Kairos protection, my legion was stripped of my decorated name, the Disfavoured. Instead of the Favoured. Right. Soldier in my legion is descended from those who stood with me during the rebellion. I keep them close to me because they were the finest northern stock, and their continued lineage is a reminder of... that goes for you as well, child of the North. By your unwavering loyalty and respect for our heritage, you are beloved in my eyes. Nods at Barrack. Disgusting! I hope you don't expect me to listen to this sentimental drivel much longer. You sound jealous, Verse. Maybe you just don't know how it feels to be favoured by an Archon. Nor would I if I wanted to. The voice of the rat takes an interest in you. That's one step closer to having your skin flayed and sewn into his tent. You regard the Southerners as some severity. The South has squatted in willful ignorance as Kairos' superiority. Don't deserve my respect. They don't integrate, I see. Lawlessness, neglect, corruption, infighting. Superior breeding and culture. I see hope, potential. You must be uncompromising in your execution of Kairos' law. Never forget that our stance on the battlefield already places us in the right. Don't let any pretense of southern values colour your opinion. Laws. Standards, right. Proper conduct. Make oaths. No formal marriage for the disfavored ranks. Tell me about your rebellion. You're right to be curious about our history, but it concerns me that you would speak of rebellion. The battles of the past are centuries, cold and hard as iron. Think you could help me serve? It is possible. Kairos doesn't lack for enemies in this lawless territory. If comprehending a rebellion as brash as audacious as mine helps you, then so be it. So you want to hear how I decimated the armies of Kairos, built my legion around northern values, and achieved the measure of power? It's true I accomplished much as a northern warlord. Defeated Blood Echo, the Archon of War at the time, by leading him into a trap. The voices of the rats. Interesting. Strange to imagine that happened so many years ago, and here we are again. My legion nearly destroyed the Scarlet Chorus, humiliated them in fact. I suspect the Archon of Secrets is still licking his wounded pride. I wonder if you would remember the conflict differently, or at all for that matter. The Voices has a long memory, but a short attention span. His soldiers are as disposable and unloved as anything can be. The Voice holds his pride and satisfaction in higher regards. He's crafty that nothing can wound him deeply, though I seem to have earned the distinction. How'd you rise? Women and men of my legion trained harder, much farther, endured more than even I had taught them. Unstoppable. Given them my total commitment, they felt protected. Truth. What truth? I was the root cause of their strength. Maybe it was the rigors of war, the desperation of our cause, but I woken into some greater power I only dimly understood. My devotion gave the legion strength, and their loyalty made them fight beyond... Oh! Interesting. So we gained this power during the rebellion. I suspect this redoubled Kairos' interest in me. The power of Archon is something to be nurtured or stamped out in accordance with Tunon's judgment. Once the forces of Kairos viewed my influence over the troops as a demonstrable threat, then they resolved to put an end to my defiance once and for all. They dragged me to Tunon's court in chains. I killed a dozen guards on the journey. If I was to be shackled for the Overlord's delight, I'd pay the indignity back in blood. When I knelt before the adjudicator and felt the force of his judging stare, my temper cooled, turning from anger to fear. Tunon offered me the terms of my own sentence. If I walked the path of insubordination, the lives of my soldiers will forfeit. Right. A decent promotion and earned through a display of strength. Odd he holds the course in such discontempt. In contempt, where? What was it like becoming the Archon of War's mantle? He had no desire to claim with such a responsibility. Terms with years to come to terms with his own surrender supplication. War seems appropriate. General and a father. Archon of Entropy. Wow, Entropy tarnished the weapons we fought with wood. When the Archon of Soul sapped up further, we rallied around Songs of the North. I dismantled their offences even though I lacked an Archon's education or experience. No doubt this is one of the reasons Kairos singled me out. Interesting. Farewell. This is a very cool guy, honestly. Scarlet Cores don't care too much about me. Ironically, I have the same amount of off for Disfavored because I'm a little bit more lenient than they are a lot of the time. Still. Alright, let's go to Kado Village. Seems like an appropriate thing to stamp out first.
Can't do that.
Why the hell all these? That's very weird. Let's head to Okado's village. Where's that? Oh, that's a long way away. But now I have all the time in the world, so... Bronze Brotherhood soldiers, blocking the way to Levian's Crossing. Alright, that's my first meeting with these sellswords. Let's see how this goes. You must be joking. A toll? I'll pay no such thing. I demand to be let through. Sorry, no one passes through without paying. Absolutely not. I've come through Iron Hall Trail more times than I can remember. No one's ever asked for a toll before and ain't paying one now. Fatebinder, surely you of all people can help me. My name's Esther and I must get to Levian's Crossing. I have goods to deliver. Tell this man I will not be paying a toll. Greetings, Fatebinder. I'm sorry to have you been drawn into this. What you stumbled into is merely a conflict of the changing times. I am Will of the Bronze Brotherhood. Iron Hall Trail is under our protection. Anyone passing must obey our rules. If this gentleman would like to pass through our lands, a simple donation is required. Keep Iron Hall safe for travelers. And who exactly is keeping it safe? You standing there with your weapons at the ready against me. I'm not but a travelling merchant. I have no money to spend and certainly pose no effect to anyone. Keep this area safe indeed. You're the only threat here. Fatebinder, talk some sense to this man. Yeah, I'll just pay you away. Let's have no trouble here. Just copper. This is an enormous hammer and stops Asta, pressing against the chest. Though, merchant, do be sure to have some rings of your own for your trip back. I doubt your friend here will be around to pay for your food lands twice. Excuse me. So a Fatebinder in our little corner of the world, huh? Whoever thought this would happen? He spits between his feet and then crushes it into the dirt. I appreciate your help doing that, merchant. I'm afraid I can't let you pass until you've spoken with our leader, Tunon. Personally, I thought he was crazy saying you'd be visiting Levian's Crossing. Looks like I owe him a few rings. Not that there's a shortage around here. What can this humble servant of the Brotherhood do for you, Fatebinder? Don't ask me to let you through. Someone made the mistake of giving this little man too much power, and he's about to discover what happens when you stand in my way. Thanks, I can handle this. If you don't feel like paying the toll, I can point you back through the way you came, if you need an idea of where to go, because I can't let you through. Where can I find Tunon? He's right there, expecting the course of some Kairos soldiers. He's bound to be in a good mood now. All those dead bodies? Must be heaven from here. Don't tell him I said that. I guess I'll speak. While you're talking to Will, striking man with a shock of bright blonde hair approaches, moving away from some men searching bodies, watches you with disdain. And here's the Fatebinder. I knew we'd see you. I was just wondering when. What brings you out when no one asked you to come? Are Kairos' dogs ready to be put down again? I won't surrender the crossing, no matter how many times you try to take it. We were hired to protect the city and we will continue to do so. No one else will have it. Never mind.
Okay, I'm back.
I don't care why you're here. My name is Raytamon. I am leader of the Bronze Brotherhood. And I'm sure you already know that. Couldn't help but see you over here talking to Wellness Traveling Merchant. Only here for a moment and already sticking your nose where it doesn't belong, aren't you? I don't appreciate others invading my territory, Fatefinder. I told him he'd to speak to you, Fate Raytamon. He wants to through, but I told him no. If you don't give me the signal, the Fatebinder isn't getting in. No one invades your territory. Watch yourself for you are a guest in my land. If you come to stir up more trouble, we are well equipped and will not back down in the defense of what is rightfully ours. Welby and I might not always agree. This is one point we see eye to eye on. You are not welcome here. Wait, I can just kill the leader of the Bronze Brotherhood right now?
Yeah. Why wouldn't you be able to?
Fair enough. I mean, I'm tempted to. You do well to watch your tone while speaking to a Fatebinder. I care not about Kairos' forces. We rebuffed their feeble attempt to remove us from our rightful home once already. I'm more than happy to try again. Why are you charging travelers a toll to get through? I don't see how the affairs of the Brotherhood are your business. The funds we receive from our tolls help us to keep the land safe. We are owed our dues and we'll have them. Why is Levian's Crossing so important for you? We were asked to do a job and we did it. Then what happens? Kairos attempts to eject us from our home. By all rights, that city is ours and suddenly Kairos wants it? Well, I intend to keep it. I refuse to leave. We protected the crossing for years and even ensured Kairos' forces could do business here when Nerad asked us to. No, we did the job we were asked and this land belongs to us. Alright, tell me about your group. Nobles, long-held traditions, injustice needs to be rectified, we are called. We're mercenaries. If not to be crass, then yes. People pay us for our services, but it's hardly the reason we do what we do. Relax. There's no shame in doing what you're doing for a decent wage, but claiming you're doing the work of a righteous when you're just selling your brawn makes you sound like a brigand. Those are quite arrogant words from a man who belongs to a group that takes knowledge and hides it from the world. Your opinion in this matter means nothing to me. Well, I need to get to Levian's Crossing. Absolutely not. You must be crazy if you think I'm letting a disfavored sympathizer through to my city. Who knows what plans you have to make to undermine my authority? You have some nerve, Fatebinder. Alright. Hey, don't run away from me. I wasn't done with you, you fucking prick.
Wait, why didn't you just pay the toll, you know, bro?
You wouldn't give me an op. Oh wait, yeah, I guess I could have paid it. Fuck these. No, fuck these guys.
I mean, they seem like they have a legitimate business going here.
Do they?
Yeah, they're charging people tolls to cross the road because they keep the roads safe.
More talent to the funny house.
Did you keep the roads safe?
Damn thing couldn't pierce
Sound like a leader.
Yeah, but you're the one doing slavery.
I'm not doing slavery.
Yeah, but you're actively a member in
It's a hit!
like hierarchy that does enforce slavery, which means you are directly contributing to the continuation of slavery.
Boing, boing, boing.
Shut up.
Damn it, Lantry, I told you to heal.
Take me if you can. Damn my eyes!
There we go.
They can hit me.
These guys are definitely tougher than Avenger in the Guard.
Let's give them something to remember. Well played.
Sorry, can't.
Come and face my irons.
Fall before me!
Will do.
Yeet. Erase the record. Takes a preservation seal. If the allied self falls below so a certain limit, they are healed for a large amount and the seal is destroyed. That is very useful. That'd be great for Barrick when he's aggroing.
Yes.
Really? No loot? Alright. Oh.
On it. Heads up, we have company. Nice. Sorry.
On your knees, worm.
Will do.
Ah, shoot.
Better not wake up dead.
Grovel before me. That one rattled me hard.
Take that.
Let's put this thing down.
I will aid you.
Oh, they killed a bunch of disfavored.
Right. Sorry, can't.
I'm not here to make friends.
Sorry.
Stand together.
There we go.
Shall we?
Bronze Brotherhood armor, eh? Let's see how good this is. Okay, it's pretty good. Oh. Oh. Throw down your weapons, mouth breather. Mouth breather. Nefcio, and I give you my word that you and your men will be brought back to Hash unharmed. Only to face hard labor or the executioner's axe. Would Ash just forget about the caravans we hijacked? You think you can just sweep that under the rug? I don't deny that you'll answer the Graven Ash. His word is law, and you'll find yourself subject to his mercy.
No, the
Lieutenant.
law is the law. You don't get to make law. You're not lawman.
Yeah, I'm lawman. The lieutenant barks a fatalistic laugh. I'm already familiar with Ash's mercy. He doesn't tolerate the Scarlet Chorus, no matter if we had a decorated career. I could earn my name 10 times over on the Voices in the Rat, and it wouldn't matter in Graven Ash's estimate. As far as he's concerned, we're just brigands and pirates. Swan has a fair point, Graven Ash. Never wanted the Scarlet Chorus to join the invasion, and only ever saw us as an obstruction. Makes you wonder how he would have fared on his own. I wager the Disfavoured would have fought themselves into extinction. Or into a better organized conquest, free of the division or disagreement. Conjecture is pointless, we will never know. The Scarlet Chorus were critical. I'm glad someone thinks so. A girl can't help but feel the Scarlet Chorus don't get their due. It's about to get interesting. Watch. Debate all you want. You have nowhere to go. Drop your weapons or die here where you stand. Sucks to your options. I have a better idea. Get her, boys. Uh-oh. That's my cue.
I'm not here to make friends. You'll have to hit harder than that. Kitty, you won't enjoy this as much as I do. Little shit.
Well, stay vigilant out here, Fatebinder. You shouldn't have anywhere to run. So I talked to Graven Ash and I learned all his stuff. He's pretty cool. I like how he's kind of forced into a service and he's only in the service to save all of his soldiers from dying. Curses. Wait, Albert, you gone again?
No.
Oh, never mind. Curses. No way out. Hey, you! I'm assuming from that look on your face you're not here to help me escape. Turn yourself over to the Disfavoured and be spared. Sorry I would ever believe such a lie. I just as quickly run my blade through my guts and face a swifter death. But I'll start by killing you. Alright then, die now. That's fine by me.
Look at that. Use your corpse.
Oh, that'd be perfect. See if I can get it. Yes!
Let's give them something to remember. On it.
Hey. Pretty sure I told you to do this move. There we go. Why the hell aren't you attacking?
No leaving till you're...
Can't do that.
Pity you won't enjoy this as much as I do.
And you're dead.
Got it.
Didn't think that one through, did you? No, but do you like Graven Ash?
I think he's cringe
Why?
because he's like a weird asshole.
Why is he a weird asshole?
Well, I mean, what do you like about him?
He's noble.
Is he?
He accepted surrender so all of his men could live.
He talks about nobility, but he also like kills tons of civilians.
Yeah, but this is a medieval time. That's pretty
Bruh, really?
What do you mean? I didn't say it was good. You're acting like this is not normal for this time.
He talks about honor a lot, but I don't think I ever actually saw him do anything that's actually honorable.
But I just told you some of the honorable things he did, and you said nah.
Is that honorable? You told me one thing.
It's a pretty big thing.
Surrendering not to die, so your men won't die, isn't really honorable so much as the bare minimum that's expected of you. Most people who surrender are honorable by that logic.
I guess so. A large carriage is being parked by the side of the road. Several beastmen workers regard you with dull expressions and motion towards the crest of a nearby hillock, more interested in catching some rest. You hear a laugh in the splash of water beyond it. As you approach the bank, you see two figures in the water bathing themselves. A tall man in fine fabrics take notice of you and lets out a piercing whistle. A well-muscled man and a curvaceous woman rush out of the stream in response, wrapping themselves in thick robes. The tall man greets you with an exaggerated bow and explains that he is a pleasure provider of the itinerant variety. Gestures to the pair, both of whom are excitingly attractive and usher you in the mood to partake. The peddler and his prostitutes unarmed, and little of the chosen spot along the bank suggests a trap. 2 small tents have been erected atop a soft patch of grass. You peer inside their open flaps and see nothing but blankets, colourful pillows, and jars of fragrant perfume. Still damp, the muscular man raises through the sleeve of his robe to dab his forehead, exposing a leather band around his wrist. Though solid, for half its length, the rest of it separates into finely twisted strips of leather coiled through seashells, a common design found around the coastal Ardent. 4 shells on the band, a discreet but unmistakable signifier of nobility. You point out the peculiarity. An item reserved for the Ardent nobility in the hand of the peddler's worker. As you voice your question, the female prostitute lunges forward and grabs your hands, pleading with you for assistance. Between frantic sobs, she blurts out that they are Ardent nobles that have been kidnapped by Brotherhood extortionists. The peddler jams a few fingers into his mouth and issues a piercing whistle, quickly summoning the beastman guards to his side. He doesn't deny his affiliation with the Brotherhood, instead of explaining that his captors are the adult children of a powerful Ardent noble, taken captured while the Brotherhood was on contract with the Voices and the Rats, and thus he contends legally acquired. The 2 prisoners look at you expectantly. Execute the kidnapper. Declare the flesh peddler guilty of various transgressions against Kairos' law, though kidnapping is all that's needed to justify his death. The Brotherhood agent grabs a heavy blade and shouts for his beastmen slaves to fight. The trio are well coordinated and surprisingly skilled, but you subdue them. You do not do so without injury. The Vengeance Guard actually like me doing that. That's good for them. The Unbroken will appreciate your reactions. Interesting. I haven't even met them yet. With the fighting over, the 2 captors don proper clothes for the road, thanking you profusely for your assistance. They promise to spread words of your deeds and to send a suitable reward upon their return to Ardent. Before you leave, you rummage through the carriage along the road, grabbing hold of supplies and valuables. 50 copper rings and a nice new one-handed hammer. I told you I'm good. See, I was the right thing to attack the Bronze Brotherhood. They're just criminals.
Yeah, but you didn't know that. You can't justify your actions with knowledge you gained after you've done them.
Yeah, but I didn't like them because they were extorting merchants on the bridge already. This just reaffirms.
Can't do
You know who else extorts merchants? The Disfavoured.
I stopped them from doing that too.
So what you're saying is you should have killed the Disfavoured there?
No, because they didn't kidnap anyone. I killed the Scarlet Chorus LT.
Looks at all the burned down villages. Yeah, they don't kidnap people though.
It's different. No, wait, the Scarlet Chorus do that. We just take slaves. See?
You do both. And taking slaves is kidnapping people if you think about it.
No.
Daniel, they're not good people.
Alright.
Graven Ash, more like Gaven Ash.
Alright, let's see if we can end the Edict of Storms. Which will probably take longer than this session, but let's get over to the Strand.
You just gotta believe in yourself.
And kill some dude. So purple means disfavored territory, and red appears to denote thingamaboo. Scarlet Chorus territory. And Vengeance well appears to have disfavored control because I sided with them. So. Journey is interrupted by the fell howls of a hunting pack of beastmen. A leader is an oppressed specimen, her mane as black as night. Beast furries? Kills in shadows. Kills in shadow. Before you towers a massive creature of fur and flesh, a short black snout snuffling in the air.
Know this scent.
Oh,
Stench of blood, sweat battle, iron and death. Smells like alpha. Smells of strength. But is male.
oh yeah. Usually alphas in beast packs are usually women, because they're the mothers of the pack. Beast woman cocks her head to one side, eyes bright with curiosity and red as fresh blood. Those eyes rove your body up and down, darkening with a sudden heat. The look that a predator bestows its prey.
Have been stalking human centrail. Have ranged many more than 5 nights through tribe and human territories of Tyr's land, hunting for human called Fatebinder. For human who woke Horizon Rock called Mountain
Well, I didn't do that.
Spire. Have hunted hot high, cold low, wet dry. Traipsed far until paws bled, but always human who smelled of alpha evaded beast woman. Had to slink through shadows, fast, quick, without rest to catch delicious prey at last.
Wait, I can slap this giant beast creature in the face? I'm not looking for conflict, just to pass through.
Beast woman did not range so far, chasing scent and tracks of Fatebinder, only to step aside and watch human leave beast woman behind. Nope. Will not move from way.
Slap. Thick muscles ripple and flex as the beast woman rises to her full height. She towers over you, 8+ feet of savage, rough-hewn strength. She spits a wad of blood and mucus at your feet. Okay, I probably shouldn't have slapped the werewolf.
Throat out, will lash, twist, tear, and mangle.
Almbeck, what did I do wrong?
What?
Ah!
Wait, what'd you do? I wasn't paying attention.
I slapped a big werewolf in its dumb face.
You stupid.
In fairness, it was really funny.
That was a terrible idea. Why did you... What? Oh my gosh. You're stupid.
No, you're stupid.
You're gonna get... You know, I hope you get fired.
I haven't done anything wrong in my entire life, ever.
Have you done anything right?
Yes.
Oh, never mind then.
To battle!
You're not going anywhere.
Felt nothing.
Yeah, take that. Dumbass. Battered and bloody, the beast woman drops on all fours, crouching low, belly rubbing in the dirt as she ducks her head in a show of submission. I believe you were going to mangle me, correct?
Yield! Kills in shadow yields to Fatebinder.
Why have you tracked me down? Why get in my way?
No human called Fatebinder. Kairos breeds words on paper. Fatebinder binds words to earth and sky. Makes ground tremble. Makes night cry, blood and fire.
What would a beast woman know of Tunon's Fatebinders?
Human is not first Fatebinder. Kills in shadow has hunted. Tribes of Kairos fear Fatebinder. Human Alpha claimed Horizon Rock called Spire, and Archons did not kill Fatebinder. Archons rolled over and whined, covetous.
Okay, so maybe you have heard of me.
Kairos hunts human realms to extinction. Rules tribe of blood and ruin, starvation.
Oh wait, no,
and
this is
death.
the stone place. I did actually do
Seeks to
this edict.
slaughter
I'm
beast
stupid.
women like prey.
Oops.
But beast women are not prey. Are not flighty, feeble-minded humans. Beast women are savage hunters, bred to fight Kirut, like Fatebinder who smells of alpha. Strong always kill weak, then grow weak. Or killed is migration of life. But Kills in Shadow is not weak now. Will not be weak for many long seasons. Will join Fatebinder and survive Kairos' tribe.
You'd side with your enemy to survive?
Enemy? No enemy. Only competition. Only strong tribes and weak tribes. Only win or die. Adapt to survive.
So this is a companion, this beast lady.
Yeah, so.
Why the hell would I want that?
What do you mean?
I don't want no fucking mangy mutt.
Why?
What good is she gonna be in fight?
She can hit people and take damage.
If you want to join me, it'll have to be as my beta.
Well,
Can I replace this picture with the golden one?
no, because he cannot be a beta.
Beta. I'm gonna tell her to scram. Get out of it.
No, accept a companion. You don't just not accept a companion, bro.
The beast woman snorts and snarls, rising up to her full height. Her muscles twitch and tremble, and she digs her claws into the palms of her hands to stave her attack.
Caution where Fatebinder treads. Kills in Shadow hunts with nothing to lose. Has lost brood and mates, tribe and lands.
You're not the only one with nothing to lose. Follow me if you want, but understand your fate is of no concern to me.
Understand well. Beast woman who follows Fatebinder. Unless Fatebinder begins to smell weak.
I won't risk you turning on me. I want some assurances. You'll give me insight on matters regarding your kith.
Alpha is clever hunter. Kills in Shadow approves. Will help Fatebinder study and stock quarry. Will paw around slippery ice issues.
Do as I command.
Role of Bulwark. Role of Second of Enforcer is to inflict Prima's orders. Wild raving Bulwark do not survive full seasons in beast women tribes. Kills in Shadow has seen with both eyes what happens to Kith who will not be tamed.
Alright then.
Kills in Shadow will not shelter stone whelps anymore. Scamper, run, flee! Do not want to see shadows lurking, stalking behind. Barb Cleft is leader now.
The pack hesitates. Kills in Shadow emits a low, menacing growl.
Will not like if Kills in Shadow catches sight or scent of stone mongrels again.
Be that as it may, you're not joining.
Sorry, can't.
You got it.
Right.
I see that Kairos' wrath still tears
Damn.
at the great fortress of Sentinel Stand.
This place got ripped. I wonder who could have done such a thing. What kind of person would casually give this kind of order out?
I'm carrying
Yeah,
too much.
Light bronze armor, heavy armor. Whoa. Are you the support the Ash sent out? Yeah. Glad to hear it. You can never be too careful out here. I'm half blind from the storm, and you agents of the court don't always stand out. No offense. Be patrolling the outer walls, but there's no sign of the enemy. Either they know not to come here, or they're better at hiding than I credited. Damn rebels shift about like the winds they do. Any unbroken? More than a fortnight ago, but she dashed off right quick before we could knock arrows. They were cautious lots, but cunning. Not even Kairos could have expected them to use the storm to their advantage. And the fortress? In these winds? I would have ventured to try if I had 1,000 shields to guard me. Come take a look and you'll understand.
Can't do that. Sorry, can't.
I won't follow you. Sorry, can't. Holy shit. Holy shit! That's like a big Spec Ops The Line storm.
Yes.
Nothing has changed. This is the very storm that shattered the Unbroken and Disfavored alike. Thank you for bringing me here, Fatebinder. Barrack regards the wind wall, and the massive tornado around the inner keep, which is but a distant outline. What?
Thank you for bringing me to this place where I was horribly deformed and
Maimed.
disfigured for my entire life.
I know, what a weird man, Barrack. Straight as Herodin, the last stalwart regent cowers beneath the walls of his castle, and we won't be able to reach him through the storm. This place brings back unpleasant memories. Tell me about the regents. They were bureaucrats and diplomats, all drunk on their own self-importance. Straight as Herodin never impressed me, but the people of Stalwart revered the man. Cowardice must run in the regent bloodline. When the edict struck, Stratus hid in this castle and watched his country fall to pieces. An honorable man would have died for his people. I'm not really, but sure. You were at Sentinel Stand?
Jumped off the top of the building and been like, I'm dead now, well.
Regrettably, the general's daughter and members of her cohort were captured in the second year of the war. By the third, we attracted to Sentinel Stand. We knew that the edict was coming, but thought it worth the risks. Well, that was dumb, wasn't it? The battle dragged on longer than it should have, and we got caught in the storm. That was the day I woke up encased in this rust bucket, and why this place brings to mind unfinished business. Didn't leave much behind. A year of brutal revel will do that. There wasn't much left of the old country, save for the Unbroken and their pride. So how do we get inside? Couldn't say. The powers fighting over this realm must have some notion. Otherwise they wouldn't squabble for control over this blasted wasteland. We should track down someone with answers. Stay vigilant, Fatebinder. Do you hear that? A voice, almost. Perhaps a song. You catch an odd sound in the wind. A low moan hidden within a cacophony of swirling dirt and metal debris. Clouds of dust seem to close in upon you. Within them you see patches of glowing red. Uh-oh. Scourge. Wisp. Very well. Scourge. Or have all the demons of the world now also seen to... Oh, damn.
I'll tear your skeleton out by your ass.
Submit to
It's a
me!
good thing this ethereal being is weak to me. Oh shit. Seal on you. Keep you safe for a little bit.
Well played.
There we go.
Come and feast my iron.
Right.
I will aid you. Fall before me!
Well, I saved the scout.
You are finished!
The Bane are gone. There are natural cries silenced, leaving only the tornado's violence in your ears. As the dust clouds recede, you spot a crouched figure on the wall
We've got a
above.
scout. Look there, on top of the wall.
I see him. A soldier kneels beneath the ruined parapets. You can tell by his raiment, old stalwart gear, he is an unbroken soldier. He peers at you with a mixture of caution and curiosity. Okay, so it appears to me the three big factions opposing Kairos still would be the Unbroken Legion, Vengeance Guard, and the Bronze Brotherhood. I wonder what these Unbroken are like, because they seem to like me when I saved the two noble children from the Bronze Brotherhood. What voice should I do for him? Almavic. Almavic? No, he's gone again. Outrageous.
What? I'm back. I literally got back as you were moving me. You idiot.
You're the idiot.
Idiot.
You
I
handle the
hope you
Bane
get
well
stuck
enough,
in the
but what brings you to
sandstorm.
this forsaken Did I get pinged? No, I didn't.
No.
You know, other people ping me beyond you.
Excuse me, who was right? Me.
Me. You handle the Bane well enough, but what brings you to this forsaken place? You don't look like the typical rank and file of Chaos' army, but you're no son of Stalwart either. No, you're the Fatebinder who broke past the Venging Guard. I think you'll find yonder wind wall a tougher nut to crack than the Apex Citadel. I'm here to the end of the Edict of Storms. Is that how it works? Kairos casts an edict and sends lackeys to clean up the effort? Well, in that case, I'm glad we're still independent of you, Imperial dogs. Enjoy it while it lasts. While the region is under our control, you'll be breaking your back digging mass graves, and I'll be watching. I suggest you make like a storm and blow, because you're not getting inside this... Really? Okay.
Okay, pull your pants down.
Because you're not getting inside this fortress. When you report back to your master, tell him that the first scout Jana sent you with your tail tucked between your legs. You're really confident considering I just killed like 6 weird spirit creatures. What can you tell me of the regions? You weren't even paying attention to the folks you killed during the war, were you? Jana shakes his head. No, not
No.
really. The Regents were a royal family. They governed Old Stalwart, protected our borders, and rallied our armies when in need. Kairos Butch has left but one Regent standard, and he's as useless as a mustache on a mallet. Why'd you hate him? He's a spineless old man who hides behind his soldiers and doesn't possess any of the values he hammers into others. Oh, sorry, I was talking about Graven Ash. Would that I had the strength to tear down the wall and kill him myself. I like this guy. Eredin is a relic of the past, and we're looking to the future. We don't have any hope of squirming out from under Kaos' thumb while the old region enjoys its twilight years, sipping dusty wine and hiding from the war. I agree. So basically they have a ruler from Attack on Titan.
Which means that they should have a military coup, because this show
I agree.
totally doesn't have anything to say about anything.
Yeah. Slightly uncomfortable when you mirror that to Japanese politics, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know anything about Graven Ash's daughter Amelia? Sorry, I didn't catch that. I'm not too good with names, and your voice isn't carrying over the winds. Impertinent scum! Climb over the wall and let me beat the truth out of you. What do you know about the Edict of Storms? I reckon not as much as you, Stormcaller. It's your fault we're in this mess. The storm will continue for as long as Stratus Herodin lives. I wager we're both keen on stopping the old coward's heart, though I'll do everything in my power to make sure you never get any closer to Sentinel Stand than this. What if oops, I'm a step closer, and another? Are you going to do something about it, or just stare at me from your little nest? Your antics don't amuse me in the slightest, Scarlet Fury. Dance away if you must. You won't make it through the wind wall as I live and breathe. For a second there I was worried we'd have to let you live, but you put that to rest. First, stop playing with your food. If we're going to be stuck inside this forsaken wasteland, I hope you don't mind I enjoy myself with a little recreation. What are the Bane doing here? Following some sense of magic, at least. That would be the safest assumption. I have a hypothesis that when gathered in large enough numbers, they'll communicate through song. Albeit one so shrill you can't hear it, and I think I'm boring even me, so I'll shut up now. Don't you know anything? The Bane are drawn to Chaos's magic, like flies around a corpse. The whole region is polluted with the Overlord's reek. Nowhere more so than the wind wall before us. Mind yourself around those claws, Fatebinder. Said that once the Bane have you in their clutches, they never... Okay, so not only is this magic super devastating, it attracts like demons. Great.
Yeah.
How can I get inside? Throwing yourself in the wind wall comes to mind. Take a few steps inside and see how long it takes for the wind to strip you down to the skeleton. I'd love to stay and chat, but it's time to report it on your presence to my superior officer. See ya.
First Scout Janos is great. Recruit that guy.
Yeah, can I get him? Damn that vain southern wretch! The Unbroken know the territory better than us. They take every opportunity to flaunt it. What was that scout even doing here? Look, there's a corpse on the wall. Might bear a closer look. Can't tell from here, but I think it's wearing disfavored colors. Well, me, with my bird's eye view, I can see it. And it is disfavored.
Barrack, just look outside of yourself like I do.
Amelia's battle standard. That is important, so I'll carry that. I don't have the room. Body's been here a long time. Tucked away in one of the gauntlets you find the scraps of a distinctive battle standard. That's the General's family crest. Amelia and her unit must have come through here. It seems a lifetime ago that we marched on Sentinel's stand. At least this proves we were on the right track. So close, too. This girl might still be alive out there. Makes you think that. Ash's protection will keep us standing long after anyone else would have fallen. The disfavored are hardy folk. A hammer to the skull, a sword to the gut, an arrow to the spine. We don't go down easily. We can march for days without cracking a yawn. I've little else I could guarantee, but I know this much. The daughter of Graven Ash can outlast any prison. What are the next steps? Ash bade us to bring order to the region, but we need to learn as much about his daughter as possible. I heard tell of an unbroken fort called Dustwatch. One of our soldiers has been imprisoned there since around the time Amelia's unit went missing. I'll wager if we shatter the unbroken defensive, we'll learn more. Barrick is correct. They took Callius captive, supposed of one of the stone shields who travelled with Amelia. You ought to make contact with Osmios, the commander in charge of taking Dustwatch. I'm sure you'd appreciate the aid. You go on ahead. I need to double back and relay this to Ash. That should raise the old man's spirits, eh? Oh, there's a cache of weapons. I should probably have a look at that. Oh, hello. Bronze dagger, huh? No, Rogue's level's still better. Unfortunately. Well, you are healing, guys, so take the sigil of life stuff. It's probably better. Nothing great. I need to do some spring cleaning soon. Oh, hello. Two seconds quicker, a whole point of damage better. That's armor penetration. That's fine. And the value of that weapon seems to agree with me, so there you go. Alas, there's not that many javelins.
I got it.
Oh, you got it.
Sorry, can't.
That's what it is. I can do 15 more minutes going through. It's nice to play Tyranny again.
Yeah.
Actually, I had a friend who was talking to me about the game on a different server, and he said that what he found interesting is that he says that Tyranny is actually it's a more modernized fantasy tale because living in a world where evil is won, and you have to do good within the boundaries of evil is more relevant to the modern life than good versus evil.
Yeah.
Which is depressing to think about, but that actually is something I'm going to try and keep in mind as a sort of, is this like a allegory?
It's an allegory for your mom.
Like, it would be interesting to view this game as a lens of, like, a satire of modern-day bureaucracy being cool. And if it was deliberate, that would be much better than whatever Outer Worlds was trying to do.
Look, at least the evil overlord who rules over everything is a woman.
Thank God. As you can see, Duskwatch is closed off to the likes of us, else I would be taking shelter from the storm. The fate binder of Tunon. Commander Osmios told me I should look out for company, but didn't expect anything from this high up the food chain. Due east. Our unit gathers its strength to take Duskwatch. Here, come with me. He glances up at Barrack in sudden bewilderment. You're the biggest stone shield I've ever seen. How'd you run around in armor like that? With great effort, but I must keep moving to stave off the rust. My calves have bulged to the size of piglets. Damn. What's the story with Duskwatch? Throughout the war, the Unbroken kept the fort locked up against Kairos' forces. Might not be much to look at, but the folk behind those walls are a spirited bunch. Not even the storm has broken their nerve. Almec, I've finally found a good faction who's cool.
Who are they?
The Unbroken. They're like the Disfavoured, but not assholes.
Yeah, the Unbroken are pretty good.
I know what the commander would say, that a Southern is too ignorant to wipe the grit from his eyes, but the Unbroken have been using the storm against us. You have to respect that. What's your mission here? Oh, wait. Oh, I misclicked. Dang. Oh, well. And there's
Now you'll
Osmios.
never know what his mission is.
Pardon?
Now you'll never know what his mission is.
Never. The disfavored commander wears his armor over broad shoulders and stands as if he knows it all too well. Graven Ash protects. Osmios, 32nd Legion. Another member of the 32nd. A pleasure to have you join us. Even this close to Iron Hearth, we need all the help we can get. Still trapped, I see. How are you faring under there, soldier? Is it challenging enough to fit food through this stubborn iron bucket? I've gained several hundred pounds of iron and muscle over the last year, and I smell like a mass grave left open to the sun. But I am for the moment upright. As you might be able to tell, the sword is a tough nut to crack. The Unbroken aren't too keen on surrendering, and our preliminary attacks have yet to break through. One of our soldiers is chained inside, Callius. We'll go to any length to get him out. He glances at the fort with longing. What's your business at Duskwatch? I expect you come to aid in the war effort, but when it comes to Tunon's agents, pays not to make assumptions. Well, standing against the Unbroken will take more than harsh language. I'm going to bring you some experience and tactics. And we're always glad to receive both. The Unbroken have their fair share of hubris, but more seasoned veterans on our side will be exactly what we need to teach those southern children a lesson. Day and night my forces have battered them against those walls, but even the tireless disfavored have their limits. I'm afraid we're out of commission until Ash's Aegis takes the edge off and knits our wounds closed. You look lively enough. What say you help us get Callius out and soften up the Unbroken for execution? I need answers, not bodies. Killing the Unbroken might not help me. I don't need any help from you. I'm taking the fort on my own, ballsy. It's not often that I see restraint, but there you have it. In this case, I think you can spill some blood without losing sleep. Before you get too excited, your job is to infiltrate the base under cover of night and extract the prisoner. Don't let anyone spot you. If you let them all inside, you'll be on your own. Callius is a good soldier, and he's been in Unbroken hands longer than anyone should have to endure. You might think him just another stone shield, but Ash holds the lives of his troops in high regard. We should consider the recovery effort as important as taking Duskwatch itself. A few structural weaknesses alongside the perimeter will help. After releasing Callius, open the front gate from the inside. We'll flood the keep and make short work of Agathon soldiers. I found evidence that Ash's daughter passed by Sentinel stand. Amelia? By the north. I never even considered anyone in her unit survived capture. If her sanity is still intact after all this time, it's entirely possible Callies could tell us something. How long is in defiance? Blah blah blah. Overworked, undermanned. Unbroken set up defenses along the siege. Did you know the Unbroken? During the conquest of stalwarts defenders, their old hedgerows, these Unbroken are a breed apart from their countrymen, and in losing the war, all of a sudden, they have something to rally behind. I don't want to say we're underestimating them, but... Did you know the Unbroken? Gang of Tearsmen with delusion of honor. I'm sure they wish their ranks were as renowned and elite as the Disfavored. Unfortunately for them, the best they'll ever do is die by our hand. Matthias, a low-born stalwart captain of some moderate success. Interesting. How was Amelia lost during the war? So that's hierarchical than the Disfavored too. I wish I could tell you. If what you're suggesting is true, I have no reason to believe it isn't, then Callie should be able to tell us more. Right. Dispatch cohorts of soldiers to retrieve a unit. Gains an edict, even Ash's daughter's missing. Overlord doesn't care. Yeah, fair enough. Alright, let's go. Make your move as soon as night falls. Remember to stay out of sight and go for Callias. We'll wait for you to open the gates from inside, but we can't help you until that happens. Well, I have the stealthiest squad available. I have a 20-ton armor piece. I have a woman and an old man. Oh, it's a wooden fort. I can already see holes.
Better, faster, and stronger.
I got a level up for pushing that wall over. Nice. I don't think this is the right way to go. This is not... Uh-oh.
Heads up, we have company.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. This is bad. Alright. Gonna have to use some strong abilities here.
Let's do it, you and me.
I don't think this is what... Oh well. It's not my fault. Barrick did it.
You're responsible for the actions of those under you.
Guess what? Wrong.
Fringe Daniel.
Not happening.
Wait, that's Captain Agathon. I'm already killing him. Oh well.
On it.
Way to help, guys.
Let's take them together!
A new javelin. Oh, it was super worth it to kill him. Oh, it sucks. Damn it. No likey. Oh, you know what probably would have helped with the sneaking?
What?
On the
Pressing
lookout.
Alt to do the sneak mode! Fuck!
You could have tried sneaking. I feel like that would have helped you with sneaking.
Not happening.
Fuck it.
Come at me, great meat.
I hate all
Not a
of these
problem,
stealth.
boss.
I don't... I know it sounds like, oh, I'm just whining because I'm not good at it, but, like, I hate it.
Better at it.
Like, I hate it when stuff is reliant on, like, use this ability to get past enemies that should see you but aren't because of your ability. Like, it's not... I never understand where I'm supposed to go.
Believe in yourself. They can't see you.
On it.
Take me if you can.
Ready? Flawless. Will do.
I'll tear your skeleton out by your ass.
Hold up, we're just gonna punch through this camp.
They won't see me coming.
Actually, they probably will. If you're here to kill me, get it on your feet. I'll not fall for some unbroken trick. Poor man is mad from imprisonment and torture. I've seen it happen, though, never to a good Northman. Grabs your wrist as you try to free him. Punch him. His head snaps back from the blow and he recovers, cradling his jaw. A moment later, he shakes his head and spits out a tooth. No son of stalwart could swing such a haymaker. If you say you're with the Disfavoured, then I trust. That's a very weird reason. I thought I was knocking you out. The fort is still controlled by the Unbroken, and I'm in no shape to fight my way out. I take it there are other soldiers outside these walls. If we open the gate from the inside, letting in reinforcements will give us the opportunity we need. Very well. I have questions for you first, though. It doesn't help that I've already killed Armiger. I mean, Agathon. He's probably the person I'm supposed to. But whatever. Actually, the stealth mechanics are better than I give them credit, because there's actually a little awareness cone to tell you when you're, you know, being spotted. Part of me's tempted to reload, but I think I'll just live with my decisions. Or I can counterattack when an opponent misses. That's definitely something I want. Alright, it's going to be an interesting fight to control.
Good work. Got it.
Damn thing couldn't pierce cloth. Oh, someone stitch me up.
Ah,
I better not wake up.
how good those undead soldiers, I mean, disfavored soldiers are.
I got it. I got it.
On your knees, worm!
I got it.
That was easy. Don't give a shit about this. I don't give a shit about that. This armor looks promising. 2 more armor, better slash and crush, better pierce and fire. 12% less. Just like this. Great tags. I'll take that.
Good thing I keep a torsion wrench handy.
Yeah, not the best way I could have stealthed through that, but I suppose since we were killing the enemies anyway, doesn't actually matter that much. At least I don't think it did. Maybe it did. Ooh, cloth tunic. Interesting. That might be good for you. Quicker recovery. Ah, it's not actually that much better. That's a shame. Alright. I'm looking like a regular bandit now.
Is that what you are? On the inside.
Oh, yeah.
You look like a weird cosplayer from
No, it's not true.
like you got like an anime mask and your weapons are too big.
My weapon isn't too big for me. What are you talking about?
Look at it. Look at how large it is. Go
It's
back
a
to-
javelin.
Yeah, but it looks large. Look at it.
Fine, I'll look at it in a second. I just want to make sure this. Further increase the number of. Barrack's Clash of Iron bolster the strength of those out nearby allies. That actually would be really good. More incentive to use it, of course. The weapon isn't big, look.
More like antlers in a way.
Oh yeah. Pretty regular. Shit, I keep forgetting about my shield.
Looks pretty large, Daniel. Large javelin, large javelin, Daniel.
It's not large.
Can't believe your javelin is so large.
Callius, Gravenash told us to seek you out. He shows you great favor. Barrack, I hardly recognize you under there. It would say your sight for sore eyes, but, well, you look terrible. You mean he doesn't always resemble a walking bucket of awful feces and rust? Call me surprised. Glad to see you in one piece, Callius. Glad to see you in one piece, Callius. Trying to perfect Barrack's voice. It's difficult. I'm relieved to see my countrymen again, but give me a moment. I'm still weak from my wounds. Ash's protection has kept me alive, but these unbroken can be relentless. Torturing their opponent, we would never do something that cruel. Glad to see you alive, soldier. I don't think you got your name earlier. Don't think I got your name earlier. I'm Kadar, Fate Binder of Tunon Hall. Hail! A Fate Binder, so far from court. Never considered myself that important. But I have been cut off for the last year. Seems like the war hasn't improved in my absence. Are you well enough to talk? You're good to ask. This reprieve from the interrogators helps. My wounds are closing with Ash's protection, though I wish it helped my memory. Some things you can't forget. Why did the Unbroken need you? I was a contingency plan, nothing more. The Unbroken were just keeping me alive because of my former charge. I was bound to serve Graven Ash's daughter. Fight by her side, and it was my great shame when Stratus Herodin forces overpowered and captured our unit. The old regent may be 10 times as stubborn as his people, but he lacks none of their might. Haven't come to judge you, just get the truth. That's refreshing. Though the Unbroken have been trying to squeeze the truth out of me so long that it's strange to offer anything but a well-placed fuck you. At least you seem a trusting sort. Amelia didn't die on the field that day. We were both taken prisoner, but I was moved here and made to suffer. The edict hit shortly after. Stratus isn't a fool. He's kept her alive as a hostage. By Kairos! This confirms everything my legion fought for. She survived capture. That means there's a chance. I have it from Ash personally that he felt a connection to his daughter. In fact, it's grown stronger for some reason. You have your orders, Fatebinder. The General demands that we take Sentinel stand, recover Amelia, and put an end to these storms. General's feelings aside, how can we be sure? I don't know how they do things in Tunon's court, but in the Iron Legion we accept the great General's instincts, especially when it comes to the well-being of his soldiers. You would do well to remember that. And if this one confirms Amelia's unit was taken alive, I have no reason to doubt him. How do we get inside? I overheard a lot from my pen, even saw the Unbroken leader, Matthias, a few weeks past. Matthias had the others convinced that some old stalwart artifact would help resist Kairos storms. He planned on using it to let the Unbroken pass the wind wall and enter the Sentinel stand. Artifacts are a strange business, but the Unbroken dedicated enough resources to the task of finding one that I would take it to heart. What are the artifacts about? Blah 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 blah, do remarkable things, blah blah blah. Part of how the regions maintained their dynasty was by way of inheritance. House Stratus, Sender, and Aspizon amassed over the centuries a small trove of relics and guarded them fiercely down the generations. There's the magical sword, the Dauntless. Whomever the leader regent was always wore a fancy hat, and one of them owned an ever-burning lamp. Now, lots of those artifacts are scattered, but I'm certain that before the war, every thief in the bastard city had some private fantasy about a heist on Sentinel Stand Keep. Okay, lots of cool goodies.